Right now, as you're watching this, your savings account is losing money. Not because of some fee they snuck in, not because the market crashed, because the number your bank is showing you is not the full truth. Your balance went up, sure, but everything that balance is supposed to buy, your groceries, your gas, your rent, a car repair you didn't plan for, all of it costs more than it did last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. So you're not actually saving. You're just watching your money dissolve in slow motion. And the worst part, nobody told you. Look, I know who's watching this. You're not irresponsible. You're not out here blowing money on stuff you don't need. You work hard, you keep track of your spending, and every single paycheck, before you do anything else, you put something into savings. That's discipline. That's you doing what you were told to do. And your balance goes up every month. Little by little, it grows. But here's what's messing with your head. Even with that growing balance, money still feels tight. Things still feel just a little out of reach. You look at your account and you think, I should feel more secure than this by now. You're not crazy. You're not imagining it. Something is off. And today I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Because what I'm about to walk you through, this changes how you look at every dollar you've ever saved. I want to tell you about Sandra. Sandra's a registered nurse out of Indianapolis, Indiana. She's been doing it for 11 years. She makes about $61,000 a year. She's good at her job. She's responsible. She's the kind of person you trust with your life, literally. And Sandra is not careless with money. Never has been. Back in 2019, she went to her bank and opened what they called a premium saver account. High yield, they told her. It paid 0.5% interest per year. She felt good about it. She called her sister that night. Her sister said, "Girl, smart move." So Sandra did what she was supposed to do. Every month she put money in. She didn't touch it. She let it sit and build exactly the way everyone told her to. By 2023, she had $18,400 in that account. And that year, her bank paid her $92 in interest. $92 on $18,000. After 4 years of consistency and discipline, $92. Now here's where it gets painful. That same year, inflation was running at 4.1%, which means the actual purchasing power of Sandra's $18,000, what it could realistically buy in the real world, dropped by around $754. So let's be real about what happened. She gained 92. She lost 754. She lost over $660 that year, without spending a single cent, without doing a single thing wrong. And it wasn't just that year. The year before that. Over 4 years of doing everything right, Sandra silently lost more than $2,200 in purchasing power. She followed every rule they gave her. And the rules robbed her. And I need you to understand, Sandra is not an exception. Sandra is the rule. Sandra is millions of people in this country right now doing exactly what they were told and quietly falling behind. Okay, stay with me, because this is where it gets real. So let's talk about the actual traps, because once you see these, you cannot unsay them. The first one, and this is the foundation of everything, your interest rate is not the full story. 0.5% sounds fine, right? It's something. Better than nothing. But here's the number your bank never puts next to it. Inflation. Right now, inflation is sitting between 3 and 4% per year. So here's the math they never show you. Your real return is your interest rate minus inflation. That's it. That's the number that actually matters. 0.5 minus 3.5. You know what that is? Negative 3%. You are earning negative 3% on your savings every year, while your balance slowly ticks up and your brain tells you everything's fine. You're not beating the system, you're funding it. And here's what the wealthy actually do. They don't measure their money by the number on the screen. They measure it by what it can buy next year. They put their cash in things that at minimum keep up with inflation. Treasury bills, I-bonds, money market funds. Nothing fancy, just not zero. The second trap, and this one honestly should make you angry, your bank is profiting off your good habits. Let me show you exactly how. You deposit your money, they take it. And they turn around and lend it out at 7, 8, 12, sometimes 24% interest on credit cards. They're charging people 24%. They're paying you 0.5. That gap, that's their profit. Your consistency and discipline is literally funding their margins. What schools never teach you is that a savings account was never built to make you wealthy. It was built to hold your money while the bank gets wealthy. That's not a conspiracy. That's just the business model. Don't click away. What comes next is what they don't want you putting together. Third trap. And this one's bigger than your bank. This is the whole system. Inflation is a tax, and nobody voted for it. When inflation runs at 4%, you need a 4% return just to stand still. Not to grow, just to not go backwards. Think about that for a second. You save $1,000 today. Next year, that $1,000 buys 4% less. A tank of gas, a week of groceries, your electric bill. That purchasing power didn't disappear. It moved. It went to the people who own things, the people who own property that went up in value, the people who hold stocks and businesses that were priced automatically. The middle class holds cash. The wealthy hold assets. And I'm going to say this clearly, this is not an accident. This was designed this way. When more money gets printed and prices rise, wages are always the last thing to catch up. The people who own things get richer automatically. The people who were told to just save and be patient, they fall further behind. Fourth trap. This one's subtle, but honestly, it might be the most damaging. Every month, your balance goes up a little, and your brain goes, okay, good, we're moving in the right direction. That feeling is real, but the progress isn't. If your balance grew by $800 this year, but your purchasing power fell by $600, you didn't gain $800, you lost $600. But your bank statement will never show you that. It shows you the number, the comforting number, the one that keeps you from asking questions. The wealthy don't track the number. They track real net worth, inflation adjusted, because they know the number is just theater. Most people never get told this, so they keep chasing a number that was designed to make them feel okay, while the gap between them and financial freedom quietly gets wider. Stay with me, the next part is where this all connects. Fifth trap, the one nobody puts on a statement, opportunity cost. Every single dollar sitting in that 0.5% account is a dollar that's not doing anything useful anywhere else. The S&P 500 has averaged around 10% a year over the long run. I-bonds during peak inflation were paying over 9%. Online banks, Ally, Marcus, Sophie, Discover, were paying 4.5% to 5% just last year. Right now, accessible. FDIC insured. Sandra had options. She just was never told about them. And here's what nobody wants you to realize. Doing nothing is a financial decision. Leaving your money where it is because you haven't gotten around to moving it, that's a choice. And that choice is costing you. Every single year. And the sixth trap ties everything together. Your bank is not on your side. I don't say that to be harsh. I say it because it's just true. Your bank's job is not to grow your wealth. Their job is to manage your money in a way that grows their revenue. They are not going to call you and say, hey, we found something better for you. They're not going to email you saying you should probably move this. They offer you what works for them, and your financial advisor at the bank. Their income often comes from selling you their products, not from your results. The wealthy either hire someone whose pay is tied to performance, or they learn it themselves, because they figured out early that nobody sitting in a bank branch has any real incentive to make you richer. That's not a dig. That's just the reality of the job. All right, here's what you actually do starting this week. First thing, open a high-yield savings account at an online bank. Today if you can. Ally, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Sophie, Discover. These accounts are paying 4 to 5% right now. Not 0.5, 4 to 5. Same FDIC protection as your local bank, same access to your money. Just a completely different outcome. On $10,000. The difference between 0.5 and 4.5% is $400 a year. That's $400 you are currently handing over for free every year, just because nobody told you to move it. Second, separate your emergency fund from your growth money. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses where you can get to it fast. Put that in the high-yield account. That's your cushion. Everything above that number, it needs to work harder. I-bonds, short-term treasuries, index funds for anything you need for 5 years or more. There are options, real ones. Third, and this is the mindset shift that changes everything, start measuring your money by the number and start measuring it by what it can actually buy. Every year, ask yourself one question. Did my net worth grow faster than inflation? Not did my balance go up? Did my purchasing power increase? That one question reframes every single financial decision you'll ever make. The system never handed you this information. You had to come find it. But now you have it. Money you leave sitting still is not money at rest. It's money running backwards, slowly, quietly, every single day, whether you're watching it or not. You deserve to know that a long time ago. Now you do. Most people will watch this and do nothing. But you're still here, and that tells me you're different. Subscribe to Max Wealth and let's keep going. What's coming next will change your game completely.